Hello everyone and welcome to Meet the FFUKers, number 3 I think this is. Very special episode. Obviously I have with me my partner in crime, Peter.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hello Peter, and I also have with me Sean Colohan, Coolers, who is top of the league at the moment.
Hello.
Hey, and that was actually a picture of Tim you saw, but that's fine. And then Stu Allen we've also got. Hi Stu.
Evening everyone.
And finally, last but not least, we haven't done this in position order or anything like that. Last but not least, Tim McEwan. Hi Tim.
Hi boys, how are we?
Very good, very good. Thanks to you guys for joining us, and thank you guys for tuning in if you're watching. Right, basically we're going to start with looking back at game week 26. It seems like it was a long time ago, but only a week or so. I'll go first. My game week review title was brutal because I got 46 points and I didn't have Harry Kane, and I had 10 men, and I brought Mane in for Sanchez, which didn't really work either. It wasn't exactly brilliant. So my game week 26 was pretty shocking. Peter, how was yours?
Okay, so I've decided the word to describe mine was mediocre. Although I got 63, I think, and before Harry Kane's 4, I thought that was going to be a really good score, but obviously went away feeling a lot of people had done a lot better than that. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, although it was a relatively reasonable week. Sorry?
Didn't have Kane at all, no?
Didn't have Kane. Got done out of a Brunt assist for the second game week in a row, which I'm not bitter about.
No,
I had an all right game week. I shouldn't complain, but it was one of those where I had some red arrows, some green arrows, which is always a bit odd.
Who did you captain?
Captain Lukaku, which was all right. I did bring Coleman in for a hit, which I was pretty chuffed about.
That's pretty tasty.
So that worked out well.
Okay, and where are you in the league now?
I'm 33rd. My team name is Wu-Tang Chan.
Wu-Tang Chan. Okay. Oh, as in Emre Chan.
Yes.
Okay.
As opposed to Jackie, yeah.
Yeah, well, good weird. Cool, nice. Right, top of the league. Go on then. How did you do? You did all right, didn't you?
I did all right, yeah. I got 72 points.
That's pretty good. Yeah, be happy with that.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah.
You didn't did you captain Kane?
No, Captain Mane.
Okay, so even with that, you still managed that. And didn't you had a red card, didn't you?
Barnes gets sent off, yeah, in the last couple of minutes, I think, didn't he?
Nasty. Still, there's no sympathy from here at all.
Yeah. McCauley at the back, and then
fair play. Yeah, obviously you're top. What's your team name?
Coolers FC.
Coolers FC. Nice and simple. Excellent. Okay, on to Stu then. How did you do?
Yeah, I did okay. 92 points, which.
Oh God, I just can't. Yeah, you can't. You did okay. 92 points. Yeah, go on. Carry on.
I was just playing it cool. 92 points. Yeah, so top score in the top 50, which was good. I've needed a good week because I've been pretty shite the previous weeks. So that's took me up to 36. My team is meh because I'm quite laissez-faire when it comes to the fantasy football. And my team, I captained Lukaku. He scored a goal. He normally scores quite heavily against Sunderland, which is why I was quite keen to captain him. But overall, my team, it was an even spread. I had Costa, Kane and Lukaku up front. Hazard in midfield with Pedro. They scored quite well. McCauley in defence. Hennessy in goal.
All right, don't show off.
Hennessy, that's ridiculous. 9 points for Hennessy. That was crazy.
I've gone for 2 average keepers and I rotate them for whoever's playing at home. It seems to be working okay at the moment.
Fair play. Good tactic. Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
All right, Tim, do you want to tell us about your game week?
Well, thankfully my game week wasn't the worst on this group because I scored 65 points after my hit.
So I put in Hazard and Lukaku for KDB and Rondon. So 65 points after the hit. Again, had Coleman, GMAC, as he's known. I think Coolers called him Macaulay earlier on there. He's called GMAC now. Had Ali, Captain Hazard, who got 5 points, so 10 for this captain. So it wasn't the biggest disaster I've had this season. My team name, by the way, is Stalked by Cronin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm not changing ever again.
Oh no.
And as I said earlier, off recording, I'm second on the third page.
Yeah, that's nothing named of at all. Okay.
Which makes me 102nd, by the way. I'm just going to own it.
There's still time. There's plenty of time to go. Right. Okay. So before we're going to talk about stuff that's happening soon, me and Pete are quickly going to do a cup draw, aren't we, Pete?
We are.
Do you want to set the scene quickly?
Yes, I'm incredibly excited. For one, Coolers is in on this video, which I'm very happy about. But secondly, yes, it's the quarter-final cup draw after a very brutal end to the last round of fixtures, which sees us down to the final 8. The quarter-final, 3 game weeks in March. 3 consecutive weekends, 15 days, starting tomorrow.
And who's in it?
It's big.
Who's in there?
So we've got Nick Johns, who obviously has been a mainstay at the top of the league for some time and has slipped this week to Coolers. We've got Neil Freeland, who I think is about 5th in the league. We've got a variety of people who are in and around the top 20. We've got Mark Leatham, Jimmy Preble, Ollie Wimshurst, Dean Collins. Then we've got myself and Scott Volker.
Okay, and because it's
Phoenix.
Yeah, he's doing amazingly, Scott. Shout out to Scott. So because Pete, you're in the draw, it wouldn't be fair if you did it.
Absolutely.
So I've what I've done is just given you the hardest draw possible. But let's go through the charade of the draw. Okay, so I have an antique wooden bowl in front of me from IKEA, and shall I just go for it, Pete?
Yeah, I mean, you can go for it. I've got some little witticisms about the players if you want as we go, or if you want to just rush through it, feel free.
Well, I'll see what your witticisms are like, and then we'll make a decision. Okay. So, right, first up, home tie for Neil Freeland.
5th in the league.
Can't see that.
Who's my mate from Northern Ireland, by the way.
Is he?
So if you pull out Mark Leatham, that will be a Northern Ireland derby.
I haven't. He's got the hardest draw possible. He's playing Nick Johns,
Right.
2nd in the league. Pete is sitting there so relieved, isn't he? Look at him.
I won't be relieved till the end.
Are you writing this down, Pete, by the way?
No, I wasn't. But fortunately, it's been videoed.
Okay.
Neil Freeland is a Chelsea fan, by the way.
Is he?
Excellent.
I'll definitely be supporting him then in the tie. Next up is another Chelsea fan. There are a few of them in this league, I'm afraid. Jimmy Preble. And Jimmy is going to be playing Ollie Wimshurst, Liverpool fan. Any tidbits or witticisms yet, Pete?
I've known Ollie for 23 years.
Fascinating. Right, next up is Peter Cronin.
It's me.
And you've got a home top tie.
It's a great start.
I'm going to really shuffle these against you are playing Mark Leatham.
Okay, cool.
Who's my third cousin, and I've known him for 23 years, Pete.
This is spooky.
Oh, excellent.
You happy with that, Pete?
You happy with that tie, Pete?
Happy with that. All the teams are equally scary. So yeah.
Also, has Mark Leatham made his transfers this week?
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't. Interesting.
I'll text him now.
Yeah. Tell him just to watch this video, and then he can copy Pete.
Right.
Right. Okay, last up, the Phoenix, Scott Volker, is playing whoever we haven't had yet.
Dean
Could be
Collins.
Dean Collins.
Dean Collins. So
Excellent.
all those ties will be written up on the website, and people. I'm sure you'll do some sort of cut date soon on the back of that, won't you?
I won't do. I probably won't do a cup date until the end of the round, to be honest, because we've got 3 game weeks in 15 days.
Wow.
So I might do a midweek one in the sort of penultimate week.
See how
in the final week, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, right, wonderful. Let's move away from the cup because actually most of us aren't in it anymore and couldn't care. We do. No, so let's go back to the league. Let's go back to our fantasy teams, and let's. We all know now that there's a City double game week. I've had a little look this afternoon at people in our fantasy league and people in our little head-to-head league that we have, and so many people have made transfers. So City double game week. Let's have a chat about it because it's pretty mental, really, because it's sort of come upon us quite suddenly, and there's some weird sort of circumstances around it. So, Pete, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So, double game week. So usually we get a load of teams with doubles all at the same time. Last season we had one which was I think Everton and Palace, which I punted on quite heavily. It was a bit meh, to use Stuart's word. This one is slightly different as it's quite an attacking City side, playing Sunderland away and then Stoke at home. So I think this falls into a slightly different category.
What category does it fall into, Peter?
Could be large category. Pep's rotation is a massive worry, but considering it is a seriously attacking team and an attacking team in good form as far as the last few games have gone, it's got to be looked at very carefully when considering your plans.
Okay, that's very suitably vague.
Tell us what you've done, Pete.
So I'm taking very much a sort of go with the flow approach.
I am texting Mark as we speak.
I think I'll tell you one thing, which is I think it's very difficult to look past Aguero as captain material this week if he had one game. So as he has those two fixtures, I might have put him in my team.
Okay, good thoughts. We like that. Okay, Coolers. What do you reckon? Have you made your moves yet? What are you thinking about? City?
I've made my transfers. I've done it. Committed.
Okay.
Gone.
I think
I'll tell you, I don't even care.
I think Coolers was quite early as well.
I was. I've done Aguero and Sterling in for Costa and Sanchez.
Wow.
Bold.
Both gone. I don't know why I've done it. I've just gone for it.
Well, most of your decisions have worked so far, to be fair. So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be said for just acting on instinct and going for it, really. Like, because actually, one of our biggest faults, definitely. Well, one of my biggest faults is overthinking stuff, and I'm sure Pete, can.
Last year, my mistake was not to go for Mahrez and Vardy. I never put the team once, so just gone with what I thought was best this year. And
it's ridiculous.
right.
It's ridiculous fixtures, and I think you're completely everyone. I think we're all in the same boat. I mean, Stu, what do you think about it?
I think I'm going to be in the minority. I think it's a bit of a false economy. I made my transfers. I had 2 because I didn't make any the previous week, and I took out Dele Alli for Sigurdsson, and I took out Phil Jones, who frustratingly is back this weekend, but he was orange, and I put in Leighton Baines because I think that Pep. So they've got their double game week, and then they've got Middlesbrough in the Cup, then Paris Saint-Germain. They're not Paris Saint-Germain. Who have they got in the Champions League?
Monaco.
So I think he'll rotate, and if you've taken a hit to bring Man City players in and they don't play, then the following game week, 27, there's only 4 games. You won't have many players. So I brought in Ffukers because he's playing this week at home, and then they've got a favourable draw against Hull in game week 27. And yes, Everton are playing Tottenham away. Koeman knows how to defend and tactically he's quite astute. And then we're playing West Brom at home the week after. And then Man City, after this double game week, they've got no game 27, and then they've got Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea as their next 3 games. So if you take a massive hit to get them in, I'm not sure you're guaranteed to get your points back. So I've steered clear of it, personally.
That's good. It's really interesting. It's good because I kind of got into this zone this afternoon that the whole world had done the same thing. And it's quite nice, actually, to think that not everyone is going to go down that route. And there will be people on both sides of the fence, I guess, one side of the fence who are rejoicing at the end of the game. Because at the end of the day, you're completely right, Stu. His team sheet on Saturday could easily have no Aguero in it. He played the last game, and with, as you say, with those fixtures coming up, they've got 2. I think they've got 3 games in a week, culminating in the Champions League game. And you think he's obviously going to prioritise Champions League because they don't look like they're going to win the league at the moment. So yeah, I think we could all get absolutely shafted by this Aguero thing. But yeah, Tim,
maybe, what but I think I could quite easily have made a wrong call, and everyone who doubles up coins in. So I think that's the fascinating thing about it. But I definitely think he's going to prioritise the FA Cup and Champions League because there's no way they're going to win the league. So, but we'll see.
Well, if you're right, then we're in trouble. Rest Aguero for one of those games then, and we'll be the WhatsApp group will be just spewing, I guess, because definitely a few people who have gone for. Anyway, Tim, what do you reckon about it?
Well, I've backed Sergio. He's hurt me so much this season, but he's got one last chance. He's got the armband. He's in with Sané for a -4. So I've taken out Hazard to be able to afford him, actually, and took out Jesus. So Sané and Sergio in for a double game week, and Sergio's got the armband. And if he doesn't do it, he's done.
Oh, mate, it's exactly the same for me. So I'm happy to say I've taken a -8 this week just because. The more I thought about those fixtures, I was just like, I think there's being conservative. I reckon that there's 5 goals for Aguero in those 2 games. Not okay. He's definitely, if he doesn't play the 2 games, then fair enough. But if he plays both games and City attack like they attack, he should get a hat-trick in one, and he should get a couple.
The fixtures are beautiful.
They're amazing.
But he has done it to us before, Chris.
Oh, I know. He could not play. He could get sent off.
The only reason I forgave him earlier on in the season is because his missed penalty was against Everton, so he got away with that one. So it's his last chance, and going on from what Stu said there, yeah, he doesn't play next week, and his fixtures aren't great after that. I'll probably take him out anyway.
Yeah,
just because I can.
I'm kind of thinking that if he gets the points I'm banking on him getting, which I completely, obviously he might not get, but if he does get them, I will take him out again next week, and I don't want anything more to do with him because he's painful to own.
He's horrible. On that point, I've got 2 points. I've got a question and a point, actually. A question is, will anyone triple captain him? Obviously Stu won't. And for Pete's benefit, I have just received a text from Leafy to say that he is watching. So
okay. Well, I'll answer your question first then. So I think, yeah, it's a massive shout for the triple captainship as well. Whether I will take that is obviously a different matter, but yeah, it's a really
just tell us, Pete.
Yeah, sure. It's a really good shout for triple captain, and I'm of course completely undecided. I'll decide at some point between now and tomorrow morning whether I'm going to take it, but it's completely, as far as I'm concerned, it's completely logical to do so. I do. Stu's absolutely right. Double game weeks are often about balance rather than just getting as many double game weekers in as possible. I think it was last season in 34, wasn't it? Like Kane got a hat trick, and he was one of the single game week players. Yeah, and so the people.
I think I triple captained Lukaku last year.
I did
on a double game week,
and he
got 4 points.
Yeah.
Which hurts me in so many ways, which is why I hate having him in my team.
The people that hadn't wildcarded in game week 33 last season and kept the Leicester players, they kept Kane. A lot of them did better for not having double game week players. So, but I've said as much as I can say.
Okay.
So for Leafy, what subs are you making?
What does he want to know?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So for Leafy's benefit, as he's watching, what subs are you making?
No, there must be something wrong with the audio.
He's afraid that Mark will watch this video and copy it.
Yeah, tell Leafy he'll have to watch it back a few times to see if he can make out what I'm saying.
All right, okay.
I think we'll save that for the end, because just before we finish, we'll chat about our subs and our transfers and our captains. But yeah, basically, I think the thing is with the Aguero thing, if we took out the Pep situation, i.e., his he loves to rotate. He could prioritize other games rather than the Premier League games. If we take that out of it, you take those fixtures and you take Aguero playing well, which he arguably is, then it's an absolute no-brainer triple captain. But what's stopping it is there's so much we don't know what's to come. We've got double game weeks in 34, double game weeks in 37, probably. Sorry, they're both definitely, aren't they, Pete?
They will happen.
Yeah, and it looks like
37
is going to be the big one. But still, 34, there's going to be, and there's even a chance, I was reading the other day, of a triple game week for Manchester United, should they beat Chelsea and other things go in their favour. There is a chance of that, but and if that happens, you just like Zlatan triple captain, that would just be amazing. But that's the fear with going for it now, is that there's other stuff to come in the future that we don't know about. Sanchez is going to have a double game week as well.
Chelsea, Spurs.
The fixtures are just so good for Aguero and City. Anyway, I think okay. Well, what about other City players then? If you weren't going to get Aguero, which other City players would you look at? Maybe Coolers. So you've gone for Sterling, did you? Did you look at anyone else?
Not really. No, I only looked at Sterling and Aguero, just because they both scored against, or assisted and scored against Huddersfield.
Yeah, and they have been the highest scoring players this year, and you can't really touch the defenders, can you? I don't think the defenders are even.
No, Stones is no good, really, is he? I've had him a couple times, and he hasn't done nothing for me.
I've had him for a long time, and he's so cheap now. So you kind of think it's a City defender, but I don't think Guardiola does.
I did look at Clichy at one point.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, Kolarov
scored that week. He scored with his right foot, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he did. He did. Kolarov's an old favourite, but
Kolarov might not be a bad shout.
Yeah, Kolarov. Yeah.
Possibly.
Okay. Right. So I think we've covered that, the old City double game week. We've got. Let's quickly just chat about the following game week after that. So we're going to have 4 games, and it's been announced that. So I'll tell you those 4 games quickly. There's going to be Bournemouth versus West Ham, Everton versus West Brom, Hull versus Swansea, and Liverpool versus Burnley. So at the moment, as you are, how's your team looking for that? Because I've had a look at mine, and I've got 6. Well, I've got 7 with Lovren, but Lovren seems to have disappeared off the face of the planet. So I've got 6 really going into that, and that's with me transferring Aguero back to Lukaku next week. So not really much room for manoeuvre there. Tim, how are you looking for 28? Have you got many?
I've got 2 goalkeepers.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah. I think I've got I've got 2 goalkeepers, and then I've got a 3-3-1.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty decent.
Yeah, that's good. So I've got Coleman, Lukaku, a couple of Swansea boys, and GMAC and Phillips from West Brom.
Okay.
Who I hope obviously do fuck all.
Well, yeah. Well, you don't mind if it's 4-3. That's all right if he gets a hat trick. Maybe not though. Everton, West Brom, 4-3. I don't know. Okay. How about Stu? What have you looked that far ahead?
Yeah, definitely. I've planned my game weeks 2 or 3 games in advance, so that's why I haven't got any Man City players in, because I'm mindful of the small game week. So I've got no goalie, but I've got Baines and Funes Murray in defence. I've got Smith and Macaulay, so I've got 4. Then I've got Lallana, Phillips, and I've got another midfield, Sigurdsson in midfield. Then I've got Lukaku up front, and then I'll have 1 transfer. And I spent a bit of time at work today working out who to put in. I can't quite work out because I don't want to take anyone out just for 1 game week. So I'll probably take I've got Peters and Grant double game week this week for Stoke. We'll see how that works out. But then I'm probably going to take Peters out for a cheap Swansea defender maybe. So I'll have about 9 players.
That's pretty good. That sounds good to me. Well, that's you, Coolers. Have you looked at 28?
Me?
No, sorry, Coolers.
Oh, sorry.
Not really, I haven't, to be honest with you, no. But looking at it
that's
now,
good to know. Good to know that the league leader hasn't looked at the week ahead, living life to the max.
looking at it now, I've probably got 6 players, I think it is.
That's all right. That's okay.
And then I'll probably chuck me under the radar gem in there, which I'll let you know later on.
Okay. Yeah, wicked. Pete, what about you? How many have you got?
I don't know at the moment. I should have 6 or 7 certainly, but beyond that,
it's worth taking. When we get to that stage, is it going to be worth taking hits to get more players in, or are you thinking they're not players that you're going to want anyway? So
nobody's going to have players, so we'll be all right.
I think Liverpool would be the only team I would want more players from. I've got Lukaku and Coleman who I have in place. I've got West Brom players. I've got Sigurdsson. So yeah, Liverpool will be the team I'm looking at next week. Which midfielder I choose is another matter, because they seem to it's one week and one another that hits the big time. So we'll see.
Fair enough. Okay, let's move on to a couple of other things. So clean sheet. Let's look back to game week 27. So we got ahead of ourselves there. So game week 27 this weekend. Tomorrow morning, the deadline. Leicester. What time's the deadline, Pete?
I'm not sure actually. It must be a 11:30.
11:30. I think it's the usual Leicester. So make sure you're up.
Man United, Bournemouth.
That's
Man United, Bournemouth.
12:30.
12:30. Zlatan.
Yeah.
Zlatan would normally have just been my captain, but anyway. Okay, so let's look at the clean sheets. So if anyone's looking to bring in a defender this week, which teams would they look at? So Tim, who's your clean sheet pick?
I think I'll go with GMAC and West Brom.
Classic. You know he's the top scoring defender in Europe at the moment.
He's awesome.
And he's 38 or 37, and yeah, amazing.
Age is irrelevant.
Absolutely, to him it is. What about you, Stu?
So I'll go for someone different. Probably Man United defender. Let's say Chris Smalling. I read today they're bringing Shaw back in for the game, but I think Bournemouth are pretty poor at the moment. So I think Man United will keep a clean sheet tomorrow.
Yeah, fair enough. Coolers, what about you? Who do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Stu on that one. I'd say a Man United defender, probably Valencia or someone like that, I'd bring in. But I'm not bringing them in. But if I was to choose, I'd say bring Valencia in. Man United, definitely.
Fair enough. And what about you, Pete?
Well, I did have United. I'll tell you who I'm going to go for in run last man standing. I'm going to go for Southampton away to Watford. I think they could be a pick.
You know what? I'm in that as well. Are you in that, Tim? Are you still in?
Yes, I am.
Who have you gone for this week?
I'm not telling you.
No way.
No, actually, I will tell you, because I've gone punty this week in last month's and Coolers I think was in it actually, weren't you?
Are you still in?
Yeah, I was. So I knocked out first round.
So four out of the 5 of us were in it, so we can talk about it. I'm going for Swansea this week.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked at them.
Fair enough.
Mm.
All right. Well, sorry. Okay. So have we done the clean sheets?
Yeah, you can do one if you want.
I was thinking. Okay, I had United written down. Obviously, I had obviously City. Obviously, is a no-brainer. West Brom I had as well. So yeah, let's just move on. Okay, next let's pick out an under the radar gem. So I'm thinking for the next week or two. So ideally they have fixtures for the next week or two, and they are under the radar in one way or another. I've got 4 written down. So if you say all of those 4, then I won't know what to say. But who do you want to go for first?
Well, I think the two game weeks 27, 28 are quite different. So it's a bit tricky to pick. But I think there'll be someone who'll come out of the double game week that is quite random, that no one's got, that will get some decent points. Someone like Arnautovic maybe could get in the points.
Good pick. Did anyone else pick him?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, good pick, Pete. Coolers, who have you got as your under the radar?
I've gone for Lanzini.
I've got him on my list. I'll cross him off.
So yeah, I am going to bring him in for game week 28.
I think he's a good pick. I mean, this week Antonio's out, so he'll play probably at number 10. I think he's a good little player, Lanzini. Quite like watching him. I think he's
scored against Chelsea this season already as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I always think with Chelsea we could struggle against West Ham, and we tend to do all right.
Yeah, I think that I'm a bit cautious about that this weekend.
But at the same time, that's the only reason I put him on my list is because he's got fixtures both games, and there, as we said, there's not that many of them, is there? So no. Good pick. Stu, who do you go for?
I'm worried now because I was going to captain Costa this weekend, and you're telling me that Chelsea struggle against West Ham.
No, we don't struggle. I just think it's not as easy a game as. I think we'll score. I don't know. What do you reckon, Pete? What do you reckon about Chelsea West Ham?
Well, I can remember West Ham beating us more than once. I think they're a bit of a bogey team.
They're not quite bogey team, but they have beaten us a few times. Yeah,
there is a gap in form and quality at the moment. So you've got to hope that Chelsea win through, but I can see it not being straightforward at all. I can see it being a 1-1 or something like that tomorrow.
But I still don't think that Costa counts as an under radar pick, though, Stu. So did you have any others or?
No, I was looking further ahead. I think after the next 2 game weeks, Man United have got some really decent fixtures.
They have,
so
yeah.
I made a mistake. The future. So after these 2, you're looking at obviously Ibrahimovic, maybe Mata, a Man United midfielder, because I think they'll do all right. But again, he seems to be rotating. Pogba always starts. My motto when I pick my team is I always go for the players that always start, not the peripheral players like Morales or that. Barkley, Lukaku, they always start. So I would just say a player that is always nailed on.
Yep, no, fair enough. What about you, Tim? Oh, Tim?
So sorry. The first name that I wrote down for under the radar was Juan Mata.
Okay.
And he's in 2.8% of teams, so that you know I'm not lying just because Stu said it. Although obviously he doesn't have a game week or a fixture next game week, so Sané is probably in fewer teams for the double. But I think given the fact that he's got games every week, he's on form, but he's not so much under the radar. I'm going to go Gylfi. Go for
Siggy.
Aye, because he's a fantasy league god.
You can't go wrong with him. He's probably not under the radar, but he's apt. I mean, I took him out 5 weeks ago when his fixtures turned for the worse, and I looked at the fixtures and they were like Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, blah 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 blah, and I thought he's not going to score that, and he scored like 4 goals in 6 games or something ridiculous.
Chris, we should know better. Just leave him in your team all season.
But every season we make the same mistakes. No. This season I'm actually making new mistakes, which I'm happy with that or not. Aguero is a mistake I've made over and over again. Okay, we've been on for probably longer than we should be on for legally, but let's just finish by talking about what we're doing for the game week. What we're doing tomorrow morning. So I'll go through mine first. I know that Pete isn't sure about whether to say what his transfers are. Maybe he just wants to say a little anecdote at that point instead. That's fine.
Yeah, I can tell you, I'm going to spend the next 12 or 13 hours studying Mark Leatham's team and tactics.
I on that point, Pete, I will point out to you right now that Mark Leatham is a Manchester City fan.
I know this. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing.
Well, he's got to go big then, hasn't he? He's got to go big. And he hasn't made any transfers yet? Is that what you think?
He hadn't.
I don't know. I haven't looked at his team. I'm not like a stalker. Like
Pete said to me, do you know what the biggest problem is? I have to watch 7 teams before the draw. Before the draw, he was saying.
Yes, because I've had to wait all week for the draw, rather than just focusing on one team to stalk. I've been having to look at everyone's all week.
He's barely looked at your team, Tim, at all. He's barely looked at yours.
Oh.
He's probably outside my house, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably is.
I've got my cameras set up.
My transfers, I've done minus 8. I bought in Sterling, Aguero, and Sigurdsson. I've got him back after I made such a big mistake before. I took out Lukaku, Ali, because he's done very little apart from a goal last week, and Phillips, because I don't think he's going to play. And that was my move, minus 8. Next week, I think I'm going to have to bloody bring Lukaku back for Aguero and get rid of Sterling for someone who's playing. I don't know who yet. So that's basically my plan. Tim, what's your plan?
I think I said earlier on, I brought in Aguero and Sané.
Are you captaining or triple captaining?
No, I think I'm just going to captain.
Captaining Sané.
No.
Aguero. Okay. Okay, Stu, what are you doing with no City players? What's your plan?
Yeah, I touched on it earlier. I took out Dele Alli and I brought in Sigurdsson, and I've taken out Phil Jones and brought in Leighton Baines. I don't think Aguero will play both games because he brought Iheanacho on and he scored in the week against Huddersfield. So I'm not trying to stir things up, but I think if you put Sané in or Sterling, that's a good bet. My lad put in Sterling, and I think maybe I could have, but I haven't anyway. And I'm going to captain. It was Costa, but I might look at Sigurdsson. So that's what I'm doing this week. And then next week, I will take out, like I said, probably Peters and try and bring in either a cheap Liverpool defender or a Swansea defender.
Okay, excellent. What about you, Coolers? So we know your transfers. We know who you're captaining as well. Are you thinking about the triple captain or not?
Not yet. No, I'll probably wait for Kane to triple captain whoever he's playing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's probably very sensible. Annoyingly sensible.
I might go, looking at it now, I might go -4 take one hit and take out
Didn't
Kane.
take a hit at all. So it was 2 transfers. You had 3, didn't you? Yeah.
I had 2 free transfers. Yeah. So I might get rid of Kone for a City defender and just stick him in there. Don't know who though.
Well,
you're just fucking showing off now, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's a luxury transfer that we could all do. Okay, and well, fair play. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Peter, you get to finish the video. How do you want to finish it?
Just by saying
2 transfers.
You can tell us your transfers if you want.
No, I can't tell you my transfers.
Who are you going to captain?
Who am I going to captain? I'm going to captain Aguero.
Okay, so you brought him in.
I think, if you're going to go for it, then go for it. I don't think Siggy's a bad shout for a captain this week, actually. Zlatan obviously would be great if the double game week wasn't in play. But yeah, it's either going to be, this could be a season changer for many of us. If we invest in this and it goes wrong, then, it could be season over in a single game week.
Absolutely. And Stu will be doing a video on his own next week, while we're all
straight in the top 10.
Man City rotate heavily.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it could easily happen. We know it can. And you'll be the only one. Well, You'll be one of the few, but fair play to you. And
thank you.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, guys. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks, Coolers and Tim and for joining me. And we'll see you all soon. Cheers, guys.
See you later.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Tim.